We're going to start our first unit today on the principle of design balance. So you all should have received a balance sketchbook. And the first thing that I need you to do is I need you to go ahead and write your name and your hour. Please make sure you include your hour just in case you misplace your sketchbook. That way I can find it to you a little bit quicker and easier. Okay. So we're going to go to the directions page. And if you were with me in 6th grade, this looks almost identical, but if you were not, I'm going to kind of walk you through it really quickly. The top will tell you what pages we're going to complete together during class time. So this means that I do not want you working on these outside of class. We are actually going to do these together today, so you don't really have to worry about it. We're going to complete pages 1, 2, and 3. The rest of the book you can complete kind of at your own pace. So today you're going to have some work time in your sketchbook. Let's say Friday we're completing part of our project. If you finish that step, your job is to get out your sketchbook and work in your sketchbook. Your sketchbook is due Friday, September 15th. So you know you're not going to be able to complete all of that during class time by September 15th. You are going to have to take it home as homework, okay? And per our grading policy in the classroom, that means you have until Friday, September 22nd to still turn it in for credit. So that is a good 4 weeks away. All right. So you kind of just have to plan and manage your time, and you will always know when it's due. So it's up to you to make sure you have it turned in on time. All right. So like I said, we are starting with balance. All right. So balance is the equal distribution of weight in a design. So in order to earn all 3 points on this sketchbook page, I need you to write the definition with pencil, the equal distribution of weight in a design, and then I need you to color the word in a way that shows balance. How I did this is by creating symmetrical balance, by cutting it down the half and coloring a different color on each side. You can use whatever you want to color. You can use crayon, colored pencil, marker, whatever you choose. And you can pause the video right now if you need to kind of give yourself a little bit of time to get this page completed. So let's talk about the 3 main types of balance that we're going to go over this semester. The first one is symmetrical balance. Symmetrical balance means if you were to take an object and cut it down the center, it's going to be completely identical on either side. A really great example of symmetrical balance is a butterfly. The second type is asymmetrical balance. If you cut an object down the center and it is not the same on either side, then that is asymmetrical. This tree is an example. And then the type we're really focusing on for our project is radial design. And that means you have a center point. And when you break off sections from that center point, each section is the same radiating out from the center. An example of this would be a tire. So let's talk more about radial balance, okay? So like I said, these are elements that are arranged evenly from a central point, all right? So if we have this stained glass window, we have our central point, and then you have what are called lines of symmetry. So you have lines of symmetry equally coming out from this central point. And if you'll look, almost like a pizza slice, they are exactly identical in every slice. The objects in the center remain the same in the center, and as it comes out, they remain exactly the same. So on page 2, I need you to create a basic radial design. All right, you can use marker, colored pencils, crayon. Once again, you are going to be getting 16 points for this. There are 8 sections, so you're going to get 2 points per section, but your design has to radiate from the center and be identical in every piece. All right, so this doesn't have to be the most detailed drawing you've ever done, but you do have to put some effort in. All right, so here are a couple examples. This example, I kind of just sectioned it off so you could see one little piece. They are exactly the same all the way around, right? So you're going to have to pause the video right now, work on this for a little while, and then you'll go on to your next step, okay? But that is radial balance. You're going to create a radial design on page 2. Okay, now let's talk about symmetrical balance, all right? Once again, symmetrical balance means if you draw a line down the center of an object, the left half and the right half are exactly the same. So on page 3, you need to draw 2 examples of symmetrical balance. And I suggest not using things like a ball, okay? That's too simple. You can go simple, but you need to have a little bit more detail than that. And I would like you to not use the two examples I'm about to show you. So you cannot use a butterfly, and I also have a little crab here. You cannot use these as examples. Now, can you go on your Chromebook and go to Google and type in symmetrical objects? Absolutely. You cannot trace it off your Chromebook, but you can definitely look and copy something, all right? But if you trace, I will not give you the 8 points. You're going to receive 4 points for each drawing. Yes, they have to be drawn and then colored. If they are not colored, you are not going to get the full 8 points, okay? Once again, you are not allowed to use the two examples that I just showed, but you're more than welcome to look up other ones while you're working. Okay, so now let's look at some more kind of higher level balance examples. You can show balance in an artwork by the position that the objects are in, okay? So objects that are further from the center usually carry more weight. So even though these have 3 together, that one just seems heavier because it's away from the center of the painting. You can also show balance by size. If you were to combine these, they would be relatively the same, right? But the larger one just seems heavier. Also value. Darker objects often tend to seem heavier as well. The lighter value ones, even though there's 2, still seem lighter. Quantity, even though there's more circles right here, they are smaller. The larger one still seems heavier and has more weight. The last thing what we are going to work on, and you probably won't have time to get to today, but I kind of just want to talk to you about it, is you're going to create a radial name design. Now this has a lot of steps and this is going to take you some time, but I wanted to go ahead and show you some examples right here. So as you can see, the person has written their name in bubble or block letters and it radiates out from the center and it's identical in every spot. But then as you kind of transfer the design around the image, it abstracts it and it creates this cool radial design. So these 3 right here are kind of more what we're going for because the name kind of gets abstracted, and I'll show you what I'm meaning as we continue with directions, okay? So on page A, you're going to glue your finished radial design here when you're finished. Page B shows you the directions, but I'm also going to show you a video of the directions in just a second. Page C is where you're going to find your template. So you're going to cut here to start. And then you're going to start writing your radial design, okay? So the first step is you are going to cut out that little dotted line on page C, and then you're going to go get a 4B pencil. The reason we're going to use a 4B pencil is because it is a lot darker and it will transfer easier. So if you were in my 6th grade, you'll remember that we used these when we did our value drawings, and we use them for our darkest values. So these can be found in the back of the classroom. There's a little container at the bottom of the bookcase that says 4B. You just need to grab one. And then you need to choose one section, only one, and you're going to write your first name in bubble or block letters. And I need you to press hard when you write, because in just a second, I'm going to show you how we will use that graphite to transfer your name all the way around, okay? All right, so here's a video that I have. So I went ahead and cut out my circle. As you can see, I'm going to kind of backtrack here a little bit. I cut out my circle. And now what we're going to do is we're going to fold our circle to transfer our name around. So I'm going to fold it, and I'm going to make sure that those lines, the lines match up when I'm folding. Okay, so I went ahead, you can see my name, and it's completely covering the second section, and it fits perfectly on top. Like I made sure that these lines right here matched up, okay? Then I'm going to get an object. You could just use a pencil at your table. I'm going to use the end of a pen, and I'm making sure that my name that I already drew is on top so that the graphite from that name transfers below to the new section. So you are going to have to put a little bit of pressure here when you push, okay? And you're going to have to go slow because you want the whole thing to transfer. I'm going pretty quickly just because I'm trying to make a video for directions, but you might have to slow down just a little bit here, okay? And you need to make sure that you press over every area so your entire name transfers, and then it should transfer over, okay? Once it's transferred over, depending upon how well you did, you might have to go back over like I am and retrace your lines with that 4B pencil. If you're retracing again, make sure you press hard, make sure you're making nice dark lines so that now we can use this new section to also transfer. You'll notice that as you start transferring sections, some are going to be upside down, some are going to be backwards, some are going to look a little off, and it might be a little weird when you start to trace. That's how it's supposed to look. It's going to start creating an abstract design with your name. Okay. So I'm going to finish tracing this section. And then you will see how now we're going to transfer over again. So now that I'm done, I'm going to fold it again. And I'm going to find 2 new sections that do not have a name on it yet. And now I can press both of those sections at the same time. So now I'm going to press both of them. And once again, I'm doing this really fast because I'm trying to create a video for directions for you guys, but you guys are probably going to want to go slow just to make sure that you get all of your spaces and all of your letter pieces transferred over. All right, so you can see I kind of didn't do very well. I can see it enough to where I can trace it, but you're probably going to want to take more time. So you can see now I'm transferring my new names. You're going to continue doing that. You're going to continue folding until you have your name in every single section. Okay. Now I don't see you getting further than this today. And that's okay. But here's another finished one that you can kind of see. This was done by somebody who's in high school now. So her name is Sadie. So here was her name in the first section and she transferred all the way around. I just kind of wanted to show you what it will look like when you're done. I will be back today before class ends, so I would be happy to answer any questions you may have. But I'm still going to have you kind of just watch this video today and work on at your own pace because I won't be back until towards the end of class. All right. So if you have any questions, make sure that you just pause the video, watch it again, and I will see you later today.